Night vision laws in California. And no, I'm not talking about the stupid Call of Duty night vision goggles that I own. For those of you that are curious about the laws and legalities of night vision goggles and night vision scopes in the state of California, normally I would just send people off a few links and call it a day. But it's gotten to the point that so many people are asking me on a daily basis what the legalities of night vision goggles are that I wanted to cover it in today's video. Before I say anything, I need to remind you all that I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. I urge you and I implore you to go and seek out your own information for yourself to determine what is right for you and what is and is not legal. This is just a primer that'll get you into the basics. And before we get into that, I gotta talk to you about today's sponsor of the video. It's me. It's me. I swear, it's me. I have an Instagram, it's Reno.May I have a Twitter, it's Reno May 94. I have a Patreon if you would like to support the channel monetarily. There are some cool benefits. If you are just interested in watching my content, that's awesome. Make sure that you 360 no scope the subscribe button. Absolutely hard scope the notification bell and hit like on this video. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. So let's talk about night vision today. So now in the state of California, there's one penal code section that's really important. It's California Penal Code 468. Wow. Okay. Words. Please do them today. And now let's read this to you. Any person who knowingly buys, sells, receives, disposes of, conceals, or has in their possession a sniper scope shall be guilty of a misdemeanor, punishable by a fine not to exceed $1,000, or imprisonment in the county jail for not more than 1 year, or both such fine and imprisonment. Basically saying, if you are in possession of a sniper scope, or if you sell, buy, or do anything involving a sniper scope in the state of California, you can get one of two things or both: $1,000 fine or imprisonment up to a year, or both. You don't want that, right? So what is a sniper scope, you're probably asking? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's get into that. As used in this section, a sniper scope means any attachment, device, or similar contrivance designed for or adaptable to use on a firearm, which, through the use of a projected infrared light source and electronic telescope, enables the operator thereof to visually determine and locate the presence of objects during the nighttime. So there's three qualifying sections as far as I'm understanding it, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. There's this section that says a sniper scope means any attachment, device, or similar, basically an object that is designed or adaptable for use on a firearm, which, and then through the use of a projected infrared light source and electronic telescope. So first, it has to be either adaptable or designed to work on a firearm, and then it has to be both through the use of a projected infrared light source and electronic telescope, enables the operator thereof to visually determine and locate the presence of objects during the nighttime. So basically, it has to allow you to see at night. It has to use both a projected infrared light source and an electronic telescope, and it needs to be adaptable or designed to be used on a firearm. So it basically at this last section says that law enforcement is exempt. If you're law enforcement and you're curious about this, don't ask me anything. Go talk to your supervisors, talk to the people that are higher up. I am not a lawyer. I am not going to be the one that's going to tell you what you can and cannot use in your duty use based on your own policy and laws that may affect you. So let's talk about this. I'm going to go to a CalGuns thread by a user named Quiet. We're going to zoom in here. This is what I normally just send to people. Basically, here's the gist. If all you're curious about is, can I have night vision goggles and an IR laser and illuminator on my gun and go burn it down during the nighttime and just goon it up in the BLM land? I want to go out to some private property and use my NAS and my laser and go pew, 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 pew. You can do that. Let's use this summary from Quiet. Active infrared scope with magnification, not legal. So if you have an active infrared scope with magnification, that is illegal. What is also illegal is a passive infrared scope with magnification and an IR illuminator. So the active infrared scopes have their built-in IR illuminator. A passive infrared scope does not, but it has magnification and it has an IR illuminator, meaning that that's illegal. And if we go back to that first section, that makes sense. Or the second section of the paragraph, it says basically it's an object that's designed to be used on a firearm, so it's a scope, or it could be adaptable to a firearm, so it's a scope, and uses both a projected infrared light source and an electronic telescope, meaning that it has magnification. This is just the layman's terms. Anything else? So an active infrared scope without magnification, legal. A passive infrared scope with magnification, legal. All these other objects that are scope combinations that don't have both the magnification and an IR illuminator, so a passive infrared scope with no magnification, but it does have an IR illuminator, legal. Now we get into the goggles section. Basically, every combination of goggles with or without magnification and with or without an IR illuminator is legal. Now, that's just for general possession or use or selling or buying, because if we look at the penal code, the original section, it says any person who buys, sells, receives, disposes of, or has in their possession a sniper scope. So if it's one of those combinations of things that is not a sniper scope, you're fine. So your goggles, your single monocle, and your IR illuminator on your gun, legal. IR illuminator on your helmet, goggle on your head, legal. Sniper scope, meaning a active infrared scope with magnification that you clip onto your gun, illegal. If you have a passive infrared scope on your gun and it's magnified and it has an illuminator on the gun, that's illegal. That's an illegal combination. If you have a non-magnified passive infrared scope on your gun with an illuminator, you're good. But any combination of normal goggles and illuminator, legal. So let's get into the hunting section. So I'm not going to tell you every single law about night hunting. That's simply not relevant, and it would make this video way too long, much longer than it already is. But if you go to the California Fish and Game Big Mammal Hunting Guidelines and you just Control F for night, we can find here J, except as otherwise provided. And basically what this section is, I'm not going to read all of it for you, but it's saying that using a sniper scope or any sort of night vision scopes or binoculars or use of infrared, heat seeks, and other non-visible light spectrum used for the purpose of visibly enhancing an animal at night, if you're using that, you cannot be in possession. So while it might be legal normally to possess your night vision stuff, if you are in the act of hunting big game or attempting to hunt big game or mammals or whatever it is in this section, that's illegal. So the simple possession of it while hunting, not chill, cannot do that. You're going to want to read this for yourself. You're going to want to look up all the hunting guidelines in general. I just wanted to specifically talk about this. And then I wanted to show you this other thread here. So this guy, RC Jackrabbit, this was posted in 2016. This guy seems to think that because of the way that the law is actually written, that it's not technically illegal based on the fact that there's certain commas here and there. I'm going to link this down below. I'm not going to say that I do or don't agree with it, because ultimately the last signing off sentence that he says, that being said, a game warden is just as stupid as the rest of America. This means he can't read either, so he will probably arrest you and confiscate your stuff. Welcome to the Idiocracy. By the way, Idiocracy, excellent movie. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. I watch that movie probably 3 times a year because it's excellent. Now, if you have any questions, I urge you to ask me down in the comments below. I urge you all to comment down below and have a conversation about this. I am not a night vision expert. I am not even a night vision enthusiast. I don't know anything about actual use or actual good, what makes a good night vision versus a bad one. So if you're curious about that, there's other resources out there on the internet. Don't ask me, but feel free to have those conversations down below. I love seeing you guys have comments. It's really cool. Sometimes I'll respond to a comment, and then later I'll come back and I'll see that there's 20 other people that are having a conversation down in that same comment. And it's kind of cool seeing people helping each other, answering each other's questions. An excellent resource for talking and having conversations with like-minded enthusiasts in California is my Discord. If you want to join that, there is a Patreon $1 tier that all it does is get you access to the Discord. There's other Patreon tiers as well that have cool rewards and whatnot, but if you don't want to join that, that's fine. Let's just have the conversation here. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, whatever it is. If you guys have any questions, drop a comment down below. Let's have a conversation. As always, have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace. Venice.